The Confederacy of Dunks is now on the Talkhole Podcast Network. Check out talkhole.co for more great podcasts.
Hello? Can anyone around here speak basketball?
It's the Confederacy of Dunks with Kevin Dowse and Freddie Rivas.
Happy New Year!
Somebody's smoking.
Oh, boy.
Is that the mask?
Guys, we have Jim Carrey on the pod today.
Somebody's smoking.
That's somebody put me outside.
Hey, everybody. I am Freddie Rivas.
Hi, I'm Kevin Dowse.
I'm at Duncan.
How are you two doing?
Doing pretty good, you know. Still went up for beer and wings. Still a little hungover.
Yeah.
Sure.
I actually am hungover from last night because I was at a West Bend social.
Oh, West Bend. If you don't know, it's a new area I'm moving to. It's Indian Road in Wanda.
Just that one block, right?
Yeah, just above Dundas West Station. It seems like a pretty fabricated neighborhood, but no worries.
Toronto goes and gets it.
Let's bring on the guests.
Yeah. We got a good friend of ours, good friend of the show, good friend of the world, really. Ladies and gentlemen, Marco Moltisanti.
Hey, that's my jam. That's my jam right there. Oh, yeah.
He's combing his beard to this music.
Sorry, I didn't tune my accordion. Let me see if I can keep up with this part here. Hey.
Comb the beard.
How you doing, buddy?
So good. Thanks for having
Great.
me here. This is great.
Thank you for coming.
What area do you live in, Toronto?
Etobicoke.
Oh, I was born there. I was born there.
Yep. Just 5 minutes for old Robbie.
Bark.
Rest
Oh,
in
well,
peace.
R.I.P. Robbie boy. Okay, let's keep this baby humming. Good friend of mine, usually in L.A., usually in Halifax, but Halifax, L.A., barely in Toronto. Please give it up in your homes for Adam Christie. Woo! Yeah, baby!
Daddy's back! Daddy's home! Canada's premier men's rights comedian, Adam Christie, is on the pod.
Oh my God!
Talking Raptors.
He's about to tell us how much of cucks we actually are.
Cucks!
I feel like I'm a pretty big enough cuck. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel pretty happy about
I'm a
that.
baby cuck.
Yeah.
A baby cuck. Well, hey everybody. How's it going?
It's good to have you back in person, Adam.
It's good to be back in person.
Oh, baby.
I miss Toronto.
Yeah, we miss you.
It's a beautiful city.
You ready to talk some basketball or what?
Yeah, let's get started.
All right, guys. Let's.
Wayne Gretzky's... Oh, okay, that's not talk about it.
Wayne Gretzky is not in the Heritage game, or is he? Guys, Raptors right now, maybe the ugliest part of our season so far, for this young season. We've gone on 2 harsh losses in a row. The Golden State one was actually pretty exciting. Phoenix one, not so much. How are we feeling? Are we panicking? Have ugly habits reared their heads? Is there any told you so moments for you? Marco, how do you feel about the state of the Raptors currently?
Oh, no panic here, bud. Honestly, bad rap on the schedule. Back-to-back is pretty tough. Golden State to me is just we spent all last season being neck and neck with them. If you want to make a metaphor with a road race or a car race, we came neck and neck with them, and then this offseason they just hit the NOS button with Durant.
You think? Wait a minute. You think the Raptors and the Warriors were as good last year?
I think that the Raptors went toe-to-toe with them.
We played them hard
I don't
every
think that they
time,
would
yeah.
have beat them in a 7-game series,
Oh,
but
right,
I think they were right there with them.
Okay, I see
This
what
year, it's not even a contest. And then the Phoenix game, which I didn't actually personally see, but I can just tell they used.
That was
they were gassed.
Big time trap game, I felt.
Yeah.
Adam,
Yeah.
we watched most of that Phoenix game together. What?
Yep. I mean, just Golden State is on another level. We're on the second tier, baby. We're not contending for a championship right now. I think there's 5 teams who could. I think there's 2 teams on the first tier, then maybe 3 on the second. I think we might be on a tier below that.
I think we are contending for a championship, but it's that type of contending that requires other teams to be injured.
Right.
It's like the Dallas Mavericks contending. The Dallas Mavericks were basically contending for like a title for like
decade,
10 years.
Yeah.
Everything.
And then they just had the one magic year where the sea parted for them.
See, I think that,
Although they still beat LeBron, which I don't think could do.
No.
but I think we would need two teams to be gravely injured for us to do anything.
Yeah, Golden State and Cleveland. Then.
Yeah.
And honestly, realistically,
I think
probably
that's
San
the whole
Antonio.
league is saying that this year,
And
right?
somehow for the Warriors to make the finals and then get injured before they lose,
Yes.
get injured and lose to the Clippers or Rockets
Yeah.
or Spurs.
Right.
Although I'd feel pretty good about, or I mean, not feel good, but I'd be optimistic about if the Raptors were playing the Clippers or the Spurs, and I actually think we would beat the Rockets. Although it would be tight, but
Maybe we're in the second tier.
Yeah.
I think we're in the second tier.
I think I forget what the exact like mileage is, but this Phoenix Golden State Utah thing is like especially grueling. Like they're basically flying in a bunch of different directions around the country, like including going home for Christmas.
Yeah.
Then coming back the next day. So like it definitely seems like a bit of a schedule loss. With that said, it does kind of seem to me like, no red flags really, but with Patterson getting injured, I'm kind of feeling that the Raptors are hitting their fatigue moment of the year.
Yeah.
And honestly, like even though we've lowered their minutes a lot, Lowry and DeRozan are playing way too much.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit nervous that one of them is just going to kind of like lose their jumper. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, no, I was just going to echo that basically. Like it happens every year where our offense is like, wow, our offense is so good. It seems like it's a non-replicatable, inefficient thing, but we keep being good at it. And then one of the two engines of that offense, has a stumble. And it's like, oh, we can't score at all.
Exactly. I was a little bit like, so I watched the Phoenix game, and it was one of those games where we just didn't have the legs, but Phoenix was also exhausted. It was kind of like whichever team had the freshest people was going to win the game. And I don't know what happened. I didn't read anything about it on a Raptors Republic or anything, but JV just did not play. And I don't know if you guys would remember, but he had his career high against Phoenix last year in Phoenix. He scored like 33 points, I think, and he just devoured Phoenix. So I was really confused as to why he was not in the game late when everyone was exhausted. Like I think he could have rattled off 12 points in the second half easy. So I'm kind of thinking maybe he got injured.
Maybe.
Yeah. There's an interesting thing happening with JV this year, though, where it's like his minutes and his touches aren't bumping up. And, in the past, it's always been like that's been one of the biggest talking points. Like, Casey, what do you have against JV? Give him more touches. Give him more this. Give him more that.
Yeah.
And now I feel like the fan base is kind of like, JV's nah. Like a lot of people are like, we should trade him, or he's not that good, or he doesn't fit.
I feel like the teams that have scouted his weaknesses very well.
Oh, that could be.
I personally feel like
he is 5 years into his thing.
Yeah.
Or into his career.
Was Phoenix going small or something? Because like if you go small in JV, it's over. Like he cannot.
Yeah, he
run.
can't play pick and roll defense, which is like, most teams' pet plays are their pick and roll. So watching him try to get out on Steph was like, holy shit, this is terrifying.
Oh my God. He was guarding Durant for a couple of plays against Golden State. There was one distinct moment in that game where JV was sprinting backwards and looked like he was stumbling for the entire length of the court while Durant dribbled.
Oh yeah. Although that was one of those plays, and I feel like this happens a lot on the Raptors, where not just JV, it happens to JV. Who else am I trying to think? Siakam sometimes also happens to Ross, where they're totally put on an island with a player who's way better than them.
Yeah.
And then you see Lowry or DeRozan be like, come on, man.
Yeah.
And after that play, someone was like, come on, Valanciunas, guard Durant full court.
I know.
It's at what point do you leave your man to help an obvious, inefficient moment on the court? There's some, I don't know. I obviously love Lowry and DeRozan, but sometimes there's too much finger pointing at the lesser players on the team.
Well, and I think our defense has lapsed again a little bit this year, and I think
definitely it's 15th or 16th.
And I think that part of it is we do have a system, obviously, but there's always a thing, and maybe it's Casey, where it's man up and guard your own man, and that's the man. Wait a man, that sort of defense. You know what I mean?
And punches that big rock.
Yeah, exactly. And it's that's fine. And yes, everyone should be accountable, but also we need to acknowledge who can't do things.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're always pounding the drum of like, Siakam's been great. Probably time for him not to be in the starting lineup anymore.
Yeah. Honestly, if you think about Siakam's minutes, he doesn't deserve one. Like, I think he should be playing in blowouts and in the D League.
Yeah.
Like, he's fantastic. He looks like someone who's going to be an excellent player. He has a bunch of stuff that's like looks great, but you can't play him against efficient line. Like, he hurts literally every single other person on the court.
If Siakam goes to the bench, though, doesn't that hurt Lowry plus bench? Because now Lowry is playing with Siakam instead of Patterson. Or has
Sure,
more
but
minutes.
our other amazing lineup is Patterson with the starters.
Yeah, but basically our two best lineups have Lowry and Patterson. So you want those lineups playing max minutes. And if that, hurts Siakam's development, like, to see, the thing is, I don't even think it would, because I think that we'd blow more teams out and Siakam would get more garbage minutes against players that he's better against.
Yeah.
But I mean,
But right now, like, I don't know. Are you seeing that? Is Podol really developing doing that? Because that's what he's, that's
he might
basically
be.
what
At a lesser
Podol is
rate,
doing.
yeah. I mean, Siakam's probably developing way faster because of this, but like you having to watch him do it is like, and we probably would have had the argument with JV when he came in the league of just letting him ride it. But
totally.
like,
JV had way more natural talent than Siakam.
yeah, but like now we have a window where we're like, okay, we're not the type of team that can sit and watch a player develop as a rookie that's not like a top 5 pick, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't have that luxury right now. We actually are talking about trying to contend. So
Yeah.
For sure. It's kind of this weird balance, and it's player specific and position specific, because like, yeah, Siakam's kind of getting the DeRozan treatment. DeRozan started, played 15 minutes a game.
Yeah.
His rookie year, and look at him now. He's amazing.
Yeah.
But also, I think, like, as far as the contending thing, I think we're kind of like in a situation where like all rookies should be treated like Norman Powell, where it's like dominate in the D League.
yeah.
Never make a mistake when you're on the court. That's how you get minutes.
Yeah.
And Siakam, I think, is just in this position where he has things that are just don't exist on the Raptors.
Yeah. Yeah.
He basically has a thing where it's like, he's a rangy power forward who can kind of shoot.
Yeah.
And
Although him taking jump shots right now is like, ugh.
I know, and like I think the thing that like the reason I'm beating that drum the most is because he really hurts our starting lineup spacing.
Yeah.
So all of those early looks for DeRozan, Valanciunas, they're all hurt by Siakam
not
not
knowing where
parked
he
in
is.
the corner.
Yeah.
Even if what's his face, even if Sullinger can come back and
at least just
kind of
hang
hit the
out there.
corner three.
Yeah.
We just need someone who can kind of hit the corner three, and that defense is respect, and then DeRozan can operate better, and yada yada yada.
Adam, I think you were a little worried about Sullinger, right? Maybe.
Well, this is. I'm going to save it for my New Year's resolution.
Okay. All right. We'll get there. We'll get there in a minute. New Year's episode. We'll talk New Year's resolutions.
2018, right?
Well, I guess on that note, where we're talking about things the Raptors are missing, there's some GMs who are speculating right now, thinking it's going to be a hot trade market because there are so many teams that want to try and make a push right now.
Yeah, and there's a lot of teams who are kind of like not meeting expectations.
Yeah, exactly. So some people might be trying to hit some reset buttons or whatever. So it looks like I'm going to say there's a lot of speculation, but there's 5 trades I think that it could help the Raptors seem remotely feasible and have been speculated about, let's say.
Yeah.
So we're going to go through those. I'll just name the five players I'm talking about bringing in right now. So obviously DeMarcus Cousins, Boogie, is the biggest name out there who's potentially out there. Would make the biggest shift on the Raptors.
Go on.
Yeah. Very popular name, has been for a couple of years now, Paul Millsap of the Atlanta Hawks.
Oh, yeah.
Atlanta usually not selling, but Horford left last year for nothing. Maybe they're doing that now. I don't know. We missed him at the draft. We tried to trade for him. Serge Ibaka. He's in Orlando now. Denver guy, not the same Denver name that we've been hearing forever in Kenneth Faried, because I think that would have happened by now. But Danilo Gallinari, which would be interesting. And recent rumblings out of Utah that they are feeling that Derek Favors and Rudy Gobert cannot play together, so Derek Favors is also out there. So we're looking at a lot of guys who can play the 4. They'd all be kind of different fits at the 4. Well, I guess Boogie would be the 5, sorry, but different looks up in the front court, improving the Raptors. How much? How much do they improve? Do you make the trade? What do you give up for him? Marco, tell me about Boogie.
Oh, okay. Boogie obviously is like a no-brainer, but if I'm going to play devil's advocate to that, it's that, you know, with all the reports of his attitude problems,
Sure.
and off-court stuff, and you know, the intimidation of reporters, which is a real thing because it was on video.
Yeah. I mean, that reporter's a shithead, but also,
Yeah, totally.
I guess, don't physically threaten people anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
don't know.
I've also heard tons of reports that Boogie's like a great player off the court, but just watching him in the Olympics too, you know, he kind of has a shit attitude. He's a young guy, and he is also very good friends with
DeRozan.
DeMar and
Lowry and Patterson.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously you make that trade. I'm just worried about. I'm a big proponent of having great locker rooms as
Yeah.
and I think that. That you know you can make a thing toxic even if a player is great, which is
So wait, how do you feel about the idea, though? I've heard this like talked about a bit, that the Raptors have built up such a good culture that we're like in a position to take on a bad culture piece and transform it, a la Rasheed Wallace. Do you think that do you think we've built up to that point yet, or not necessarily? Like, someone could still ruin this whole thing.
I think that's a very good argument you can make. I mean, every single player on this Raptors team has bought into the system, and they're all on the same page from what I can see. And like they've already taken the rookies are already hook, line, and sinker in on it too. I mean, because like you have to be as a rookie. Anyway.
Boogie's had like 45 coaches.
Yeah,
so he'd be coming into
another part of it.
He'd be coming into a situation where like this is the coach,
And he plays
He's
in
not going
Sacramento.
anywhere.
He plays in Sacramento, the shittiest franchise with like the craziest.
The owner wanted to cherry pick. The owner literally wanted to play 5-on-4 defense, so one of their players could hang out at the other side of the court and make easy layups. That's literally a thing the owner said.
And he's also one of like 45 owners.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
That's the whole thing with Sacramento too, is you just have like
They
a
have a
million
mess of
people
owners.
making decisions.
Yeah.
Like
Who's the best player that DeMarcus Cousins has ever played with? Is it Rudy Gay?
I think Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah
yeah.
Thomas?
Yeah.
But
then, like, it's like, that's it. Other than that, it's like Omri Caspi,
yeah,
Tyreek Evans.
oh, it's bad. It's like,
Bad.
It's very bad.
I mean, some people like Darren Collison, but I mean, the best I would say Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, probably right.
absolutely.
Automatically, if he comes to the Raptors, he's playing with the 2 best players he's ever played with.
Yeah.
And with a locker room that is supportive, and again, he has a lot of friends on the team.
Yeah.
I think that it would. I think it would be fine. People said shit about Kyle Lowry when Kyle Lowry was coming to Toronto. People said that he was a hothead and he was hard to handle.
And he was, I think.
Yeah, he totally.
And he
was.
actually was the same age as Boogie.
But if there's an argument for getting Boogie, it's exactly Kyle Lowry. They turned Lowry into
we got
something.
Yeah, we got a top-down culture. Like Masai could sit down with Boogie and be like, "What are you so mad about? Tell me about it."
And we're a
What are you
loyal.
still mad about?
We're a loyal franchise. Like people that we draft and people that we like, we take care of them.
Yeah.
We take care of DeRozan. We always took care of Bargnani.
Just like Sacramento.
Just like Sacramento. The only thing about Boogie is that I don't think we get him, because I don't think we have a trade package that a team would want for a
You
top
think?
10 caliber. Well, Boogie's top 10. So first of all, why do you trade Boogie if you're Sacramento? Why don't you
I guess
try to
you have to think
same
you're
with-
going to build around him, period.
Yeah, and if you have a player like that, like it's probably, even if you have a top 5 pick this year, the chances aren't good that you're going to get another Boogie. And we really don't have any future to give. Like,
Yeah, I guess we
Who
have
do we
bad,
have?
we have bad picks.
We have another Knicks pick?
Norman Powell, DeLon Wright, or tantalizing.
If
And
I-
JV would probably be
JV.
I think
Definitely.
JV, like just salary wise, is
Yeah.
a must in
yeah,
the trade.
well, and playing time wise.
Like if I was Sacramento, considering you have Boogie on a contract for like years, I would basically, even if Boogie's like, I want to trade right now.
Oh yeah.
So first of all, I'd be like, hey Boston, give me all your Brooklyn picks.
yeah,
Are you interested in that?
yeah.
If not, I would be like, okay, Toronto, I want JV, Ross, Powell, all your picks.
Yeah.
Because
all
and
our
then
picks are so bad.
I know that's
our
why.
picks are
That's
basically
why.
worth nothing.
If I was Sacramento, I'd want all of them.
All of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I would be like, I would just demand the moon. And then if Toronto was like, no, they're like, okay, then I'll keep Boogie and try and work this out.
Because Sacramento can wait Boogie out.
Like you said, they're not getting another Boogie.
No.
So they must know that. I think the best player, if you're trading for Boston, you've already traded away Isaiah Thomas. Well, what are you going to get Crowder for?
Yeah.
To be a glue guy on a team that sucks?
Yeah.
Like, it kind of like, JV, I feel like, is the most attractive guy because you could be like, he's not getting enough touches.
Yeah.
He's still young.
He could
maybe
be an all-star,
a part of something.
yeah.
Plus, if we get him and Powell could be featured a lot more. Ross is a sharpshooter. I don't know. I feel like Sacramento.
If you're Sacramento, do you make that deal? Do you ever make that deal?
I pretty much don't because I just try and convince myself that it will work with Boogie. Although it's hard for Sacramento to look around the league and not be like, he will leave.
Yeah.
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 But you know what?
definitely gonna leave.
We'll bring this up later, but the new CBA has changed some of that. So
Yeah.
I'm going to
So
tell you
maybe he
guys
won't.
what I learned about the new CBA in a
Looking
bit.
forward to that.
Maybe he will not.
It is also a worthwhile caveat to say that at all of these trade scenarios we're talking about, we basically have to hope that Boston does not try and make a trade because they have
Yeah.
a
I think
treasure trove of assets.
if anything helps us there, though, is that they have Horford.
Yeah.
Who is like, for sure he could play with Boogie and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But a player coming in, like, let's say Millsap, for instance, he might not be like, I don't want to play with Horford again.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I mean, I don't know that.
Yeah.
But Boston's assets have only looked worse over time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because a lot of their drafts, like the main assets are
those Brooklyn
the
picks.
Brooklyn picks,
Yeah.
which are just massive.
Yeah.
But all their actual players, I mean, the person I'd be the most interested in is Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Because he's so young and he's good.
And Marcus Smart's still growing into himself a little bit.
Yeah, I guess so. He wouldn't move any kind of needle for him.
No. Yeah. Well, let's. You mentioned the hot trade topic is he's been there for a couple years now. We tried to get him a free agency. Paul Millsap. Is there any chance, Adam? Do you think that he's leaving Atlanta? First of all.
Well, I think we were talking about this before as far as Paul Millsap and Ibaka goes. Is if you're a GM and you sign a player like that and you trade him, it's a failure.
Sure.
But it is also smart. It's a smart thing to do because you're not contending. Where is Atlanta in the standings right now?
They're fifth.
They're fifth.
Yeah.
They're fifth
In the East.
They're fifth
Yeah.
in the East.
They have to be like totally out of it.
Why would they trade?
them
Why
to-
would they trade?
Yeah, no, they have to be in like 12th, I think, by the trade deadline for Millsap to get moved.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also Atlanta's a team with a lot of veterans who probably thinks that they can go to the conference final. If I'm Atlanta, I have
If you're Atlanta, you're like, I could beat Toronto.
If
I
everything
think
breaks
so.
right, Atlanta could be in the conference final.
And I think
Like, it could
Atlanta,
happen.
I think there's a world out there where Atlanta, you look at Toronto and you look at Boston, specifically Toronto, and you say, these guys almost lost to the Pacers last year.
Yeah,
And
totally.
they almost lost to a Miami Heat team without Hassan Whiteside.
Great point.
We have Dwight Howard, we have Paul Millsap, we have...
Longevity.
And they're probably also like, hey, Schroeder's played 35 games as a starter.
Yeah.
Let him play 80 games,
Yeah.
and we'll see where we're at.
So I
or
think,
let Schroeder have a playoff run.
I think there's definitely a world where the Atlanta Hawks beat the Toronto Raptors in a playoff series. And
Yeah.
that's their
Absolutely.
thinking. And why would you ever get rid of your best player? For
Yeah,
that?
I think I agree with that.
I think what we would need in that scenario is for Paul Millsap to do one of those things that happens every once in a while where he kind of just indicates he's not going to resign.
Yeah.
Or if he does that thing where he's like, I'm going to look around.
Yeah.
If you're GM and you hear your like star players say, I'm going to look around, you basically are in like what happened with us with Chris Bosh.
Yes.
You're in a scenario where you're like, I'm going to lose this asset.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
it's not about like what kind of run we're going to make. It's like I'm losing this top 15 player
yeah.
or top 20, whatever you think Millsap is, period. So then what do you do after that?
I think I should look at this stat because I'm curious, but I feel like that just happens more often than a trade.
Well, for sure.
That
'cause
they just play it out with the asset.
Well, and I think they just did that with Horford.
Yeah.
Well, like you brought up earlier.
Yeah.
They were saying like, hey, we want all these things for Horford. And everyone's like, that's a bit much.
Yeah.
Because we can't, like, we
can't
don't
keep
know
him,
if we don't know if we can keep him.
Yeah.
And then Horford's a free agent. He's like, bye.
Yeah.
You literally got nothing for
Yeah.
me. So I think, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, but like I think we can all kind of agree that if they're in 5th, 6th, 4th,
Yeah.
7th, it's not happening.
Well, then shifting to a similar situation with a guy on an ending contract, Ibaka, do you see him moving?
This one is the most interesting.
You find this one interesting,
or I mean, as far as like, if you're Orlando, you have to know that you are a bottom 5 destination in the NBA.
Yes,
and you are absolutely not resigning Ibaka.
Yeah.
Period.
And your team's a mess. Like
your team's a total mess.
Yeah.
You have young prospects who aren't even getting time. You have Biyombo on big money, which is a massive mistake. You have, Vucci Main, who you're trying to move. You have Aaron Gordon, who can't play his own position.
Yeah.
Or I mean, like, he's supposed to be power forward.
Yeah.
But like they keep playing him out of position. So Ibaka is like the guy who he's just gone. Period.
Yeah.
Like even way more so.
He
than
will not
Millsap.
be on that team. And also, I have to add, they're wasting like the early tenure of a good coach by being like, okay, so like, it's your team, Frank Vogel. Go nuts. You have 7 power forwards and no one else.
yeah, exactly. Oh, no one can dribble or shoot. Hope that's okay. Bye.
Yeah, you have one player that can score.
Yeah, Fournier,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think out of all the players, I think the Raptors, this makes the most sense for the Raptors. I think if you're going to go big, I think Ibaka's a guy that realistically you could get if you put a package together.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we probably don't re-sign Ibaka after this year, so it's like it's a real championship.
See that?
or bust.
I think we would re-sign Ibaka.
Well, we have to pay Lowry and Patterson.
Oh yeah.
And we're going
Well,
over
I think we would let Patterson go.
I think
in that
so.
situation.
I think any incoming power forward that maybe needs to be re-signed means bye-bye Patterson.
Yeah.
I think. Just because Patterson is not going to be okay with making $5 million next year.
But does
I don't think.
Ibaka make a max deal next year?
I think he's had enough bad years and he's old enough that maybe not.
I don't,
But he's probably going to get it from someone, I guess.
Yeah, you'd have to like break his leg.
you guys keep talking. I'm going to Google how old Ibaka is.
I think he's 29, but I'm not positive.
If he's 29, then I agree, but I feel like he might be like 27.
maybe he's
He's getting paid. This is going to be his last.
You're
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
yeah.
he's
Contract.
getting
And
a big
MLSE,
contract.
like right now, while they talk about it on the low post of right now, MLSE is probably not going to want to re-sign both Patterson and Lowry and keep the whole team together. That's
Yeah.
someone.
27.
27,
He was
1989.
I stand corrected.
So I think
He's
Oh,
getting a
he's
big
getting-
deal.
he's getting
a
real
big
paid,
deal.
yeah.
So MLSE is not doing that.
Also,
I don't think so.
Every single player who saw this offseason is like, oh, hell no.
Yeah.
Like anyone on a current
Timothy
contract.
Mozgov got what?
Totally.
Yeah.
Or if you're Lowry and you're like, stay calm. Alan Crabb's making 18 million.
Yes.
Alan Crabb's making 18 million. Like Lowry's gonna be like, I want to start at 75 mil
Yeah.
a year. You know what I mean? Like he's just gonna be like,
Yeah.
he's gonna be like, find me a way for extra money to just like get dump trucked into my backyard.
Yes.
Because like
I want my money pool.
all these guys want huge money and it's their last payday. But yeah, like just as far as like the probability of Ibaka getting moved, Rob Hennigan, the GM, probably doesn't want to do that because he's admitting defeat as far as the old Depot transaction.
But if you know that
If you know he's
that he's not
gone.
coming back,
Exactly.
then
Yeah.
Yeah,
why
like,
not?
maybe this was always the plan.
So as a Raptor fan, what are you okay giving up for this risk?
Yeah.
And that's the thing, because I kind of just want to bring the band back together for the next like little while. So I'm not comfortable. I don't want to do the trade because I don't think Ibaka makes us better than Cleveland, and it definitely doesn't make us better than San Antonio or Golden State.
Okay, even though I was saying all this stuff about Siakam, there's definitely a part of me where I'm like, is Siakam, like, how good's he going to be in 2 years?
Yeah. Oh,
You know what I mean?
I think you gotta wait and see on him.
It's this weird kind of dynamic with the Raptors because you have like JV, you have like all these kind of young big men. You got DeRozan who's like 27, 28.
Yeah.
And then you have Lowry whose prime or age anyways is matched up with the LeBrons.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, it can't be Lowry.
Yeah.
We can't try and go for it with Lowry. We
Yeah.
need Lowry to be like the 4th best player on our team.
Yeah.
Like he needs to be like aging but still good. So yeah, it's kind of a weird,
it's gonna
complicated
be-
position.
Yeah. Someone who's definitely a younger player in that regard, and very good, but maybe too old world for this NBA now. I don't know. Is Derek Favors? Insanely Utah after their best defense ever last year is now like, nah, never mind about Favors and Gobert together. Do you see him fitting on the Raptors, Marco? You think he helps us?
more so than just waiting for Sellinger to come back.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like a tick more.
Okay.
To be honest with you, I mean, I think he's a better player all around, but
Yeah.
like the same point with Ibaka, I don't think he really pushes us into the next stratosphere. He's definitely going to be an improvement.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that
I
package
think
is
Ibaka.
smaller.
I can't say he pushes us into the next stratosphere, but like, man, Ibaka, the defense he played against San Antonio and Golden State last year in the playoffs was like pretty special.
Mm-hmm.
But it was obviously him, Durant, and Steven Adams.
Yeah.
But I think like Ibaka for me is the perfect fit because he stretches the floor, doesn't need the ball as much as like Millsap, Favors, or Boogie, and I don't know, he's like kind of the perfect third banana, but yeah, it's just the money thing and the re-signing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, what do you give up for these guys?
And what do you give up exactly?
Yeah.
Like,
And his Favors primed to get like big money too? Or
I think basically everyone we're talking about
Just because of the cap is,
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess anything
getting
happens.
huge money.
Mike Conley, everyone.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Even though he's playing
Great.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But like, yeah, one thing I'm admitting some of my basketball or knowledge that I don't have is like I don't know how exactly you acquire a player's bird rights
Oh, yeah.
because that's a big part.
That's a complicated
because that means you
situation.
can pay them more
Yeah.
than other people.
Yeah.
Is it
Know
the
what I'm
team
saying?
that drafted the player if you acquire that player after they get their second contract?
It's something, and you have to have them for a certain amount of time.
I think I think it might just be time, no? Is like you just
Maybe,
have to
yeah.
have him for a couple seasons?
Yeah.
maybe that's what it is. So right, I guess
Yeah.
none of these players would we have the bird rights to, so they're
Right.
all unrestricted.
Yeah.
What are birds' rights?
I should actually Google that as
That's
well.
probably a good reading definition of that. Yeah.
It has something to do with like what the team that drafted that and signed their rookie contract when they become a free agent, that team gets like priority to sign them.
It helps you re-sign your free agent.
It has something to do with Larry Bird.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
Give
it
them
does.
more money.
Yeah. Oh, you got it there? You want to give us a
Yeah.
read?
In essence, the Larry Bird exception allows teams to exceed the salary cap to re-sign their own free agents at an amount up to the maximum salary. To qualify as a Bird free agent, a player must have played 3 seasons without being waived or changing teams as a free agent.
Right. So
Okay.
I guess theoretically we could be like Lowry max, Patterson max.
Yeah.
And we have Patterson's bird rights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can do that and we could go over the salary cap.
Oh, okay.
So I guess the idea there is like if you've drafted well and built a really good core,
Yeah.
you can do that. Wonder how
If
that
you
works
wanna
out for Golden State.
If you want to spend the money.
Durant. If you want to spend the money, right? If you
Because
have
I
a
think,
franchise who
I
wants
think we go over the cap with Lowry and Patterson by about like $15 million.
Okay.
So
a lot.
but then it's double. You have to pay the tax is double.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're paying $30 million. So
But are you taxed if you do it within the bird rights?
yeah.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
just allowed to do it.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
allowed to do it.
Like you can't if you
can't even
you have
do it.
$2 million in cap room, you can't just go out and sign a free agent and go into the tax. That's not allowed.
Right.
That's the salary cap. You're not allowed to do that. But which is why last year we could re-sign DeRozan, but we couldn't re-sign anybody else.
Right, and that's why a lot of people were confused about Biyombo because we
Yes.
didn't have his bird rights.
Exactly.
So people are like, "Why can't you pay Biyombo $18 million?" It's like because we're only allowed to offer him like
And also
$6 million. or whatever.
because no,
Because not 18 million for
we're all excited
God.
about Biyombo.
Can I go on a mini rant here?
Very
All the
happy
people who
for
are
him,
like,
but-
"We're missing Biyombo this year."
Oy, oy.
Please watch
No way.
one Orlando game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please watch one Orlando game and then say that again. Like it's not like Biyombo's bad.
No.
He's actually fine.
Biyombo
He's actually
is
doing pretty good.
Absolutely what he is, though.
But he's
Yeah.
like such a specific role player that
Yeah.
it's like, sure, he was nice for us, but like by almost every metric, Bebe's doing much better.
yeah.
I'm
And
not
he,
even kidding.
like,
he
is
alters
a
more
good
shots.
passer.
He blocks more shots. He's a better passer.
He can dribble. He can catch the ball.
but
Smarter
almost-
with the ball.
Yeah.
His hands aren't literally
Yeah, fists.
2 hammers.
Yeah.
Even his pick and roll defense is like I think it is. His pick and roll defense is a bit worse than Biyombo's, but it's not that much worse. Trade talks.
Trade talks. Last guy on the docket is Danilo Gallinari.
Hard pass.
Yeah, not into old jelly knees.
Little
No.
spinal tap.
No. This guy's injured
Spinal
every
tap.
year.
My thing. Okay, sorry. You go first.
No, that's just it. He's injured every year. He's old. He's not good this year. He hasn't been great.
And do we really need another 3-point specialist on this team?
I mean, he is an
He does-
actual stretch four potentially.
He totally is, but not not for any significant amount of time. Maybe if Denver was like, we're going to rest him until the All-Star break, and then you can get it for 2 months of like, he'll probably be good for those 2 months.
Probably good for 2 months. Also, I think you have to think about the Italian jersey sales. That's a big
time.
motivating factor for Toronto.
Yeah.
Finally get the Primo Pasta back in order. No, okay, like my only thing for Gallinari is every time I read anything about any kind of trade buzz, trade rumors, Denver's just in the mix.
Yeah.
Denver's like a player you have to cooperate with. So I think that I would like Gallinari in a situation where we are in some 3-team trade that moved Damari Carroll.
Okay, yeah.
So I would like Gallinari as a better Damari Carroll. But
Danilo Gallinari is a career 41% field goal shooter.
yes, he's not
41%.
He's not very good from the field, but he's probably pretty good from 3, right?
He's like Patterson or Carroll. He shoots 36%.
Yeah, like I don't think he'd be that much of an upgrade on.
I just Carroll looks like very, very old.
Yeah.
Gallinari can play offense on a team that doesn't have a ton of offensive talent.
Yeah,
I feel
but
like
imagine him as our third option.
Yeah,
Wouldn't his percentages improve if he was wide open all the time?
Yeah,
And
maybe a
he's
little bit,
amazing at getting to the line.
but also he's just
feels like a gamble to me. Feels like it would be most likely a lateral step.
What if someone told you?
And does DeMar just get
telling me?
less touches? Do we take like 5 less touches
Yeah.
away from DeMar?
Okay, what if someone told you all you have to give up is Bruno Caboclo and your newest Drake shirt for Gallinari? Would
He
you do
is
it?
2 years away.
Yeah. I think he's like 18 months away now.
Oh yeah, that's
You
right.
might have to pick up the pace.
On the Bruno clock.
The Bruno clock is like winding
starting
down.
to tick down.
That's it for the trade.
Great, that's all the trades. So it seems like most of us are like, a trade could be interesting. Boogie would obviously make us substantially better. Ibaka probably would. But also, let's keep this ride going. Let's keep this happy ride going with our current crew.
Let's do it.
Yep.
They got to make a huge trade. If they like to talk championship, it's got to happen.
But are we even talking championship? I don't know.
I think if we make that big kind of a Boogie trade, yeah.
Well, okay.
But
you know
we're
what?
not if you don't.
Matt, I'm happy you brought that up.
Okay.
Because I was listening to the Low Post. I forget if it was the one with Windhorse or with Eric Kareen. But one point that I totally agreed with is you make a big trade, sends a message to the rest of the NBA that Toronto is a player and we're trying to win a championship.
Yes.
We're not just comfortable being, we're basically at this point, this current squad, we're like a really good team that will likely go to the conference finals, but could also lose in the first round. So I think it's like, how long are you comfortable with that? And how many players are going, if you made a big splash, maybe you lose Ibaka, but maybe Favors is like, shit, that team's trying to win.
yeah.
Players take notice for sure.
Players definitely take notice. It's like, it's a serious thing.
It's the Blue Jays pretty much right now, or
Right.
at least last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Moving
Well,
on.
let's move on to our next segment.
Yeah.
Marco's going to take it.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
The exciting stuff. Referees.
Pop the champy. Pop
A
the
quick downward
champy.
dog.
All right. So every ref is crooked, right, Marco? Is that
Yeah.
working?
So this segment's called Every Ref is Crooked.
So we just say a ref's name, then go bada boom, bada bing, crooked.
Let me tell you where they live. No, I've just got kind of a bone to pick with, and I'm sure everybody does all the time with the refs.
no.
Not specifically, sorry, I shouldn't say the refs. I specifically have a bone to pick with the last 2-minute report
Okay.
at the NBA.
My uncle's a ref, so just careful what you say.
Okay, no, I knew that. That's why I know exactly where he lives. No, the last 2-minute reports that have been coming out, and obviously I've taken more notice this year because the Raptors have been burned by this report multiple times. But also my argument is, why do those reports even exist? Because it's a for those of you who don't know, it's the last 2-minute report comes out I believe every game regardless. So they review the NBA reviews the last 2 minutes of every game and see if they agree with any calls or non-calls that were made by the referees, and then they release a report on stating the facts of what was.
And the goal is transparency, I guess.
Which in theory is a great idea. I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword because you're trying to be an open book, and I understand that, but it's also just like there's no repercussions. It's just, oh, we fucked up. So there's that.
Just so you know.
Just so you know, and then
Yeah.
the Raptors been burned on it a bunch, and now just recently, as last week or even this week, Durant came out after the Christmas game because he got pushed on that last play by Richard Jefferson, and then basically was like, and then the last 2-minute report came out and it threw the refs under the bus, but there's nothing that's going to be done about it. And Durant was like, yeah, what's the point of this report? Just don't even tell me.
Yeah.
You screwed up. Let the refs figure it out on their own. Paul George has been outspoken this year about it too.
LeBron.
So
Yeah.
like everybody is.
It's a weird thing because it undermines the refs without really providing any tangible positive benefit. I don't think because it doesn't seem like the refs are changing anything.
Yeah, I mean, how
can you measure that? Yeah,
I mean, the only thing they could do is like, have an internal meeting and be like, oh, just try to pay attention next time. I imagine that's the whole point of the report.
Yeah.
I
It
don't
does
know,
seem pretty pointless.
I feel like it should just be an internal document. Like, just keep it within the thing. Like, just acknowledge that you guys screwed up. That's great, but like, don't tell the fans you screwed up and then just move on. Like, even in baseball, they replay stuff if things go.
Weren't you pissed about this last year, Adam?
Well, I just don't think like no one asked for this. No one
Yeah.
cares. Like it's the type of thing like people are like when the Raptors had the thing with the clock at the end of the game and we should have won or should have went to overtime but we didn't. It's like and then the report came out it's like just move on. Like and I'm not saying this like just move on fans cuz like obviously it's frustrating when you see something like that, but the NBA should just be like just don't talk about it.
yeah,
Be a Donald Trump about it. Be like it's time to move on, guys. And then we will and eventually like we did move on. The next game we're talking about that game.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's a thing. And also, this is why you try to win by 5 points.
yeah.
You don't go if all is riding on the last play of the game and you're mad because the refs didn't call a push. It's like the refs aren't going to call a push on
the
Christmas
last,
on the last play of the game.
Unless Jefferson like literally
Unless
like,
it's
charged
insane,
with
but
his-
like
And also-
you should know games don't end that way.
Also, not gonna lie, I stayed up till 3 a.m. last night just watching the last game of every Jordan championship. And let me just tell you, in the fourth quarter, he makes sure he pushes you. So
Right.
Durant, you better push Jefferson next time because he did what he's supposed to do. He stepped on your foot.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you make sure that doesn't happen if you want to win a ring.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because that's what's up. Like that,
Yeah.
Jefferson's job is to Bruce Bowen you.
Yeah, you
So-
gotta play that. That's why Bruce Bowen was who he was. He
Exactly.
was nobody, but he got those little things.
No, he
got in
won.
your head,
And it meant like Pippen did it too. Like
Yeah.
if you watch like who was it against? I think it was against it was against Portland, their second championship. There's a shot that basically got overturned because Michael Jordan was screaming in a ref's face, and they would stop the game, and they're like, "Oh, okay, give Michael what he wants." Like that's basically what happened. Like I think it was a shot that Scottie Pippen got hit in the head. Like it should have been an one, and it was like play was like said and done, and he just like was like, "No, this must happen."
Man, that's just like to me the like most intrinsically bad thing about NBA reffing structure, like the way that the game lends itself to that happening.
Yeah.
And that's what's the most frustrating part about being.
It
an
lends
NBA
itself to conversation, and that's a skill that certain people have.
Yeah.
And like for instance, Doc Rivers and Chris Paul have learned the whole thing about like you can wear people down over
Yeah.
the course of weeks and years and months.
Yeah.
You can basically just be like, this ref might hate me, but he knows if he makes a call that doesn't doesn't
Yeah, if a ref
isn't
is
good for me.
50-50 on something,
And they're like, oh, this guy, Chris Paul's going to be nagging at
Yeah.
me for the next 5 minutes if I don't make this call. Okay, fine, I'll make the call. Because
Yeah.
Because
And in a split
because-
second,
yeah.
like they don't even think that much about it. It's
Exactly.
just worked into their muscle memory
Exactly.
almost.
Yeah.
And I mean, like this is gonna sound very grandpa-like, but in a certain extent, isn't that like just sports?
Yeah.
Like, isn't that just
Yeah.
how it goes? You know? That's
I
like-
don't think there's a right answer here.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, you should play by the rules. If you're pushed on the last play of the game, maybe you should win the game on free throws with 0 seconds left. That's crazy boring. So on the other hand,
Yeah.
it's kind of street ball in the last possession of the game. More pushes go. So it's like, I don't know. I see both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just hope that like every single Raptor is listening, and that DeRozan and Lowry don't only try and get foul calls in the playoffs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just please listen to what we're saying, because we know everything about basketball, me and my friends.
Yeah.
And do not try and draw fouls in the playoffs, because they don't work. Thanks.
Can you imagine if Jordan's the shot? He's called for an offensive foul for
my
pushing.
God.
He did. Like,
Yeah.
if you like, he
Yeah.
really
It's a vicious
does push
push-off.
Russell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, he really does, like, guide him and push his butt.
But what's better for history? That Jordan hits that miraculous shot, or he gets called in the finals, last play of the game, for an offensive foul for pushing.
Yeah.
That just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just
And
does not happen.
Inbounds the ball to just beat the clock out.
Yeah.
Yay.
Well, I think we covered this ref thing,
I
right?
think so. Yeah. Freddie, you got some knowledge nuggets.
Yeah.
Knowledge
I got some
nuggets.
That's
knowledge
what they call them in
nuggets.
school, right?
But can I just start off with a bit of a rant?
Okay.
Oh, Dennis
Okay.
Miller over here.
Yeah, yeah.
got dark.
Hey, you call me, look at my jeans.
What?
Is that what Dennis Miller says?
No,
Yep.
he'd be like,
You're thinking of Dennis the Menace.
Oh, okay. Yeah, look at my jeans.
Mr.
Mr. Wilson.
Mr. Wilson?
Yeah.
Okay, this is weird.
those are nice jeans, Dennis. Get out.
Hey, Dennis.
Wow, your mom's rich, eh? Raw denim. Get out of here, Dennis.
Flower pot.
A true pest.
You're not supposed to wash raw denim, Dennis.
I'm in.
No, the All-Star game. Okay, I listen to a lot of basketball podcasts. I read a lot of basketball. And people seem to be obsessed with trying to turn the NBA All-Star game into an actually competitive game. And I just want them to stop trying to do that forever. The game will not be a defensive game. It will not be a competitive game. Can we just acknowledge that it's a fun, silly game where we're going to see lots of dunks and wild shots?
Wait, who is saying this?
Nerds.
I've heard it. I mean, I've heard it on a variety of podcasts. I want to say I listen to Dunked On podcasts the most with Nate Duncan, but I'm not sure if he's the one who actually said it. But
I've heard it on the Raps.
yeah. The thing I hear the most is, "Oh, we got to do what baseball does."
I know, it's so
we got to do what
stupid.
baseball
Baseball's a
does.
different game, like-
And it's like, guess what? Like, there's so much about baseball that is like hot garbage.
Also, baseball.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say that.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna like. It's not like if the East plays the West. It's like, oh, let's try harder because of like home court. Like, the reason defenses are good in the NBA is because people understand their roles. So when you throw a bunch of people who only play offense together on a court, guess what?
Yeah.
You're gonna have the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Anyways, that's my rant. I guess if any of you guys disagree with me, let me know. But we fucking. Is this like calm down, Freddie?
Yeah.
Also, I should know that baseball, I think, did their CBA this year, and they
Yep.
got rid of that.
They just got rid
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's stupid.
It's very dumb. Very stupid.
because it's a Globetrotter
Oh,
game, even
best
for them.
best record in the league, huh? Too bad.
Yeah,
Your
exactly.
your conference didn't win the All-Star game, so
Yeah.
yeah.
And yeah, I don't know, just this idea that you're gonna have like this really competitive defensive game when like it's Marc Gasol against Pau Gasol.
Yeah, dumb.
You know what I mean? It's like what do you think's happening?
Also, what if your star player
Yeah.
got fucking hurt in the All-Star game
What about
because
the
he was playing
insurance
defense?
policies
Yeah,
for these games?
so
Exactly.
stupid. So stupid.
Yeah. Okay. But I want to talk a little bit about the CBA. Can you give me some CBA music, Matt?
Absolutely. Sorry, just open another window.
Okay.
You skateboard here often?
Yeah. Check out this half bike trip. Now I'm gonna tell you some CBA stuff.
Nice ollie.
So, there's obviously a million little things that will shape the NBA that we know today through the new CBA. But a couple things I found interesting is 2 more roster spots.
Yeah.
So each team's going to have 17 roster spots as opposed to 15. What do we think about that?
I like it personally. I think the talent level in the league is deeper than it's ever been. I think the league
Yeah.
could handle an expansion team or two, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so too.
So I think extra roster spots is great.
Yeah, and 2 is pretty modest. Like I'm okay with that.
Love to.
It adds 60 players to the league. It's going to be better for the D League teams as well. To think about a guy like, we could be carrying, Danny Crawford or something who, would be mostly playing in the D League, but like would still be like owned by the Raptors.
Yeah.
So it's cool as far as like drafting deep and GMing. And
Yeah,
all that
I
kind of
think
stuff.
I think it'll help small market teams in a big way potentially.
Yeah.
because you can just have more assets.
Yeah,
stocked.
it puts us in a situation where if we think that Bruno is actually like 10 years away from being 10 years away. We can wait till he's 39 and just right. You know what I mean? And put him
Just
in,
that perfect glass of wine.
So, yeah, exactly. Another big thing is I don't know if people are calling it like the Westbrook rule, but it seems like it's definitely there to, help people keep their superstar talents, small markets.
Okay.
So you can grandfather people into contracts. So Harden and Westbrook can now make plus $200 million on their extensions.
Oh, nice.
So if you have a player like, if you're OKC, if you're like Westbrook and you're like, okay, we have him for 2 years, but he's obviously going to leave again.
Yeah.
You can be like, we'll pay you so much more money than anywhere you could possibly go.
Right.
So to give you an example of this, if this was already in place prior to Durant leaving for Golden State, OKC could be like, go to Golden State, but if you sign a max with us, we can give you $50 million more than Golden State can.
So rather than having to wait for someone to opt out and then negotiate a new contract, you can actually give them that ton of money plus some.
Yes, exactly. And so basically it allows teams, they already so they could always offer more. Now they can offer much more.
Right.
They should call this the poor Anthony Davis has to play in New Orleans forever now.
And actually, I think
Anthony Davis will never see the second round of the playoffs.
I think that's almost exactly what Brian Windhorst was saying on the low posts. He was basically saying, it means guys like Towns
are trapped forever.
and Anthony Davis, just because of money.
They don't have to sign.
It's weird. Yeah, they don't have to.
But they're leaving $20 million
But yeah, no
on the
one's going to, because you used to leave 15, 20, 30 on the table. Now you're going to leave 50, 60, 70
and especially
on the
after
table.
Anthony Davis lost that, $20 million because he didn't make the All-NBA third team?
Oh, yeah.
Now he's going to turn down more money?
Yeah.
What's important, Anthony Davis? Rings?
I'm actually not sure I like that. I gotta say, I definitely resent big market teams being able to poach superstars, but I think this could limit incentives for GMs to make their teams good.
Yeah. And this was also brought up on the low post, so I don't want to do too much recycling. But an interesting point they were talking about was, does this inspire more Hinkie style tanking? Considering the fact that if you're, let's say, Memphis and the Grindhouse, that generation is done, and you start deciding to blow up, you're probably telling yourself, we need to get a generational player that we can hold on to 12 to 14 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you already have one and you want to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
That is more incentive.
Yeah, it could make more incentive to tank, which I'm sure the NBA does not want.
Yep.
Interesting.
So that's in there right now?
That's in the new CBA.
That's in the new CBA, yeah.
Let's have a lockout.
Yeah, well, the good part is no lockout. That's the good part.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's basically
Those
the things I found important about the CBA or interesting. The owners still are running the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Adam, I mean, it's New Year's coming up.
Happy New Year.
By the
everybody.
time this plays,
Yeah, this
it will
pod
be
is going to be coming
2017.
out on Jan 1.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's the 31st, and I just found out Paul McCartney just died.
Shit.
So no, not really.
Oh my god.
Everyone bought it.
And Ringo.
What next? Pitbull?
I haven't even checked my phone. Pitbull.
No, not Pitbull.
I thought you said pinball, like Pinball Clemens.
Oh no.
This year's crazy. Crazy. You kidding me? B44 has passed away? Fucking hell. What next, Evanescence?
So I wanted to go around the room and maybe everyone can share 2 or 3 Raptors New Year's resolutions.
Love it.
Ooh, let's get in the spirit, guys. Well, Adam, why don't you start us off?
Maybe I'll start. Well, this is a Raptors related one, just because I'm a Raptors fan and because of competitive spirit. My New Year's resolution for the Brooklyn Nets is to not finish the bottom 5 teams in the league.
Right.
Please don't give Boston another top 5 pick.
Seriously.
Please win those games. Get out there and win, boys.
Yeah, get us win some games.
God, that's so depressing.
Get us some wins.
Yeah.
Is it me next?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say in-game ops. They're the single thing I hate about the Raptors experience the most. Maybe I'm too much of a curmudgeon-y basketball fan, but when the game's playing, if you could just not have someone yelling at me.
It's
would be
even just
awesome.
less. Even just less.
Totally. Even in the
So
timeouts.
much. Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Just when people are actually dribbling the ball, if I can not have people screaming at me about a t-shirt. I have 45 Raptors t-shirts.
Yes.
I'm all right.
Yeah.
That's it. Matt?
If everyone, all the NBA stadiums could make concessions a bit cheaper, so I can afford nachos with my beer.
Sure. Oh wow! And the music
Okay,
changed.
got really emotional there.
Wow.
I'm gonna flash it back to the Halloween game I was at this year. The dance pack did a really cool Thriller routine with awesome costumes and stuff like that. Let's get more artistic dance into the dance pack routines,
Sure.
please.
Yeah. We know they got the skills.
They got the skills. Let's see them.
I'm gonna say a real one for the Raptors defense. Lowry and DeRozan got to come up those screens better, defend that 3-point.
Yep.
So maybe Lowry, maybe grow 6 or 7 inches. Not a big deal.
Sure.
You got a day.
I like it.
I'm going to say my New Year's resolution for Jared Sullinger. I want him to be at least the 8th best player on the team. If he
That's
is,
realistic.
Real
he is-
high bar for
please, because if he is just better than Norm or Corey Joseph, just one of those people, because I feel like we have a real good solid 8 guys. When
Yeah.
he comes back, we'll have a real good solid 9. Just don't be the 9th best
Yeah.
player. Be the 8th.
I guess
Oh,
my
wow. Perfect.
my New Year's resolution for the Raptors. It's another off-court thing. You know, it's the season. Once you give Mo Pete another chance. He sucks so bad. We suck so bad.
Wait, he still plays?
No, he was trying to be a commentator. It was bad. He dyed his hair blonde.
Okay.
Things got worse every day. But I mean, give the guy.
He was-
Give him like 5 games. It was bad.
No,
It
they
was bad.
gave him a season and it was terrible.
Okay, one more season then.
Okay.
It's like when Ty
Also-
Domi tried to be a commentator.
Oh, boy.
They're like,
Also, if you could just
No.
show us Stripes is alive. You know what I mean? He doesn't need to be back in the arena. Show us something with Stripes. Is he okay? You know what I mean?
Eating.
That's all. Matt?
Matt, final resolution.
oh, I get 2?
Yeah, we all got 2. I took 3, sorry.
My final resolution is to have like an outdoor classic game for
be
the NBA.
Just like on the blacktop?
Yes.
That'd be great.
But like a Kanye concert, so the court is floating.
Oh my God.
And like they're moving around just
So, like, you fall, you die, or
Yeah,
like
if
that?
they fall, they die. But yeah,
Oh, yeah, not you. Yeah, sorry.
well, they would die too. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
and the out of
300-pound guy.
the out of bounds is,
Yeah.
a
There's
cliff.
no grace period. There's no warning.
Like March
track.
Madness.
Just
times,
like March
times a
Madness.
million.
And no baggy shorts. They're not allowed to wear
Why don't
baggy
you just throw
shorts.
him on the tarmac at Porter Airlines? See what happens. Play a game.
Dodge some planes.
Landing, yeah.
Kevin, final resolution.
I'm gonna go back on court for this one. I'm gonna say
Kevin's the only one doing real things.
yeah, my dance back one was
Oh,
really
yeah, sorry,
real.
Marco was. You suck, Kevin.
Monster. No, I'm gonna say Corey Joseph just needs to get himself together a little bit.
Fix those sideburns, right?
Yeah. He's just gonna Corey Joseph's gonna look in the mirror on Jan 1st. He's gonna say, "I found myself again," and he's gonna go out on the court. He's gonna be great.
Oh, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
The final resolution.
Oh, right. Number 2 for me. I've got to say, to Adam's thing about Sullinger, would it kill the guy to just play in the boot? Is that a crazy?
Play in the boot.
Play in the boot. LeBron did it with the mask.
Sprinkle some flubber on there.
Oh, we have flubber. Don't waste it on that.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, every team
Kidding me?
picks
Every team-
flubber for one game.
Every team gets.
But you just gotta like choose the
Yeah.
right time. Someone uses like flubber on a bench player, tears his ACL in the warm up.
Oh, you'd have a final
God.
where both teams have flubber.
Yeah.
Game 7.
Yeah.
Oh, LeBron saved his flubber, but so did Durant. Oh, he blocked him on the 3rd floor of the. I don't know. They both got severely injured.
Yeah.
Matt, you want to take us home with some Proline?
Yes.
Great.
Proline picks.
I guess why don't you hit us up with the current scores? See how we're doing.
Wait, did everyone
sure.
do a New Year's resolution? I can't remember.
We all did 5.
Let's all do 10 more.
Yeah.
So a little recap. Standings by win percentage. Kev is in 4th place with a 286 save percentage. You're 2 and 5. The guests have fallen a little tad. They're 13 and 14 for a 481 win percentage. Freddie is got some momentum now. You're 8 and 4 in 2nd place with a 667. And
right.
my streak is over. I have lost all 3 last week. I'm 9 and 3, 1st place still.
Okay.
With a 750 win percentage.
I'm proud of you.
I'm coming for you.
Okay.
Yep.
So is this the spread? We got to beat the spread?
Yeah.
gotta beat the
So
spread.
just a quick explanation to
Yeah.
our listeners. The spread is who Vegas favors for a particular game. So, they would favor Golden State over the Raptors by 9.5. There's lots of halves. You always have to round up because you can't score half points in basketball.
Yeah. So, if you think Golden State's going to beat the Raptors by 10 or more, then pick Golden State. If it's by less than that or they lose, obviously pick the Raptors.
Exactly.
Okay, so ready for the first one, Frederick?
Let's do it.
All right, let's get this ready. And we've got Milwaukee at Chicago. Chicago has a spread by 2.5.
I'm going to go Milwaukee to bust that spread.
Whoa!
Thibodeau. Or what am I talking about? Hey, did you guys hear about Thibodeau?
Thibodeau exists.
Adam.
I'll say Chicago.
Chicago. Marco.
I'm also going Milwaukee because of
Whoa.
Thibodeau.
Good. Kev?
I'm going to go Chicago.
Chicago. And I too will go Chicago. Second game of 3. We've got the New York Knicks at the Houston Rockets. And Houston has the spread by 9. Adam.
I will say the New York Knicks.
New York Knicks.
I don't think
Sorry, in
they're going to
Houston?
win,
In Houston.
Yeah.
but I don't think they're going to win by 9.
Do you think they'll win by 9, Houston? If you think they'll win by 7, pick New York.
No, Houston.
Clint
Okay.
is injured.
Who's injured?
Clint Capella.
But Montrezl Harrell's been playing good.
Kevin.
I'm going to say Houston as well.
Whoa, we got some different picks this time. That's good.
Gonna
That's
rain
good.
on
And Frederick?
their souls.
Oh, wait, is it me? Yeah.
What
sorry,
are you,
me.
sir?
I'm New York.
I'm also going New York.
All right.
9's a lot.
Yeah.
But Houston
Houston's a lot.
Houston lights it up.
Yeah.
But I just see something.
Derrick
happen.
Rose has been pretty good lately.
Yeah, he's
Sad
having
to
a good
say,
season.
but he's.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I know. Marco,
Last one.
third and final game. We've got the Phoenix Suns at the Utah Jazz. Utah by 10.5, aka 11.
Damn.
Yeah.
When are these games? Tomorrow?
Today.
Today.
Yeah, tonight.
No, they're definitely not going to cover that spread. I'm going to go
Phoenix?
Phoenix and
The Raptor Killers.
Yeah, because of Thibodeau though.
Yeah.
Kev.
I'm also going to go Phoenix on this one.
Okay. I will also go Phoenix. Freddie.
I'm gonna go Utah. I think Phoenix is a little cocky
Phoenix
for
is-
beating us, and
yeah.
Utah's gonna smash them.
Okay.
And Adam, last pick.
Derek Favors is back in the starting lineup. But I will say Phoenix.
Whoa. And that is it.
A ghost.
That would be it, folks.
Okay. Well, that's Confederacy of Dunks basketball podcast. Thank you all for coming. Adam, you got any fun things you want to plug?
Yeah, go on my Twitter. It's at the Adam Christie.
Check out his Twitter.
A lot of funny tweets on there, boys.
We'll post the Twitter in the.
You can always click on the guest name on dunkspodcast.com. It'll take you right to their Twitter page.
You follow them. You favorite them.
Yeah.
You retweet them. You at them constantly.
My
no matter
life
what.
is the first episode of Black Mirror season 3,
Nice.
and I live off
watched any of
retweets.
I love it.
My life is the first episode of Black Mirror season 1.
Oh wow, you're a president who has
having
to
a-
bang a pig.
Having a bad time.
No
yeah.
worries.
Bang a big. Gonna watch the show.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, you absolutely got to watch the show, yeah.
Marco?
Yeah, I got nothing going on. You can check out my Twitter, which I just had to look up the handle for.
Nice.
Which is how often I tweet.
Oh,
You tweet
yeah.
pretty often.
Pretty often, this guy
I'm
says.
with you on there.
If you want a really snarky tweet every once a week,
What about
Check
your
out-
Instagram where you
Oh yeah, check out my Instagram
Tunnelgram.
account. Where I work, do tunnel work. I work for the Eglinton LRT
Yeah.
project. So
Yeah. If you're gonna ride that Eglinton LRT in 10
Yeah.
years, you thank this guy.
Shout
Marco.
thank you, Marco,
Yeah.
out loud when you step on.
Yeah, at every station.
Yeah.
yeah, look up Mr. Marco Mo on Instagram.
Great.
There you go.
All right. Well, everybody have a happy new year.
Yeah, be safe out there,
Be
everyone.
safe. The TTC is free tonight. So, fuck your Ubers.
Is this coming out tonight?
It's not coming out tonight.
Wait,
Or
what?
Is it? Is this pod coming out tonight?
Oh, no. Hopefully you took
TTC was free
Hopefully you
yesterday.
took the TTC for free last night.
Listen to this, people. If you put any change in the TTC, you're a fucking has-been.
Okay, bye.
Hello? Can anyone around here speak basketball?
This has been the Confederacy of Dunks with Kevin Dowse and Freddie Ravis.
Please subscribe and rate on iTunes and Stitcher.
And check out talkhill.co for more great podcasts.
Ramby!
Nice.
Did you just show Harambe?
Nice.